Yesterday was Solana's do or die, and it died. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. My name is Da Vinci Jeremy. Oh, man. It's hard to say that I'm into 5 as Solana, absolutely devastated us last night and this morning. And we're thinking, well, what the hell is going on? Especially since I've always talked about the fundamentals of Solana. And there's a difference between fundamentals and, unfortunately, technicals. Whilst something could be fundamentally strong, it can be technically weak. And so we're seeing that here with Solana. It's fundamentally strong, but technically weak. And we're gonna go over that and more in today's episode. And really, we're going to see how you feel, right? Since this is how it feels right now. You're looking at the market, and it's like this.
Well, that's great. That's just fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? We're some real pretty shit now, man.
You finished?
That's it, man. It's game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple songs. Why don't we try that?
We better get back, because...
Yeah, well, we better get back, because it's, what's it called? The weekends come out at night, mostly. Oh boy. Wow. Okay, well, we're going to go over what has happened and how you guys can best trade this, and you just got to move on. So let's start off with heading over to WEEX, right? Because remember, I'm telling you, I'm doing some trades. I opened some trades here on WEEX, and my first Bitcoin open trade is open already, right? Obviously, right? It's taking some losses because we expected it to go lower than what we first opened. We just needed to first get into because we don't know exactly what's going to happen. We generally have an idea, right? There's an idea, but there's always a possibility of something actually going different. And so, what is the idea for a Bitcoin trade? Well, looking at Bitcoin, we can see that there's the Bitcoin, if it's going to go higher, right? Which we believe it is going higher. We do have the fundamentals are, of course, again, remember, fundamentals don't mean that it's going to do exactly what we said it's going to do. Fundamentals are basically we have institutional players and large governments interested in buying this asset. And so eventually the price has to go higher. And we have a 4-year cycle with Bitcoin, so we expect it to do its 4-year thing. And yes, we've already gotten pretty high with Bitcoin. And some people are saying that this is the bull market is over. And with today's and yesterday's colossal collapse, you might feel that way as well. But it's always dark before the storm. And we can see that, well, you know what? If Bitcoin breaks down, we could see it breaking down. Even right, we have a lot of liquidity here that they're going to be chasing, and you can see there's more room to go. And we could go quite a bit down here. Looking at the 4-hour, you can see there's a lot of liquidity to chase after. It can keep going for a long time before it refills and stops. And you can see that we can go as low as it's 82 or something like that. Damn, we could be in a lot of trouble here with Bitcoin, but that's okay. We expect something like that to happen. Let's just take a look at some sort of technical, see if technically we can get there. Let's do a zoom out here and see what we see. Let's just accept that this is a double top, right, pattern, and chart out where we could see this thing go from this double top pattern here. So if we do that, right, we can say from this point here to, let's just take this lower point here. And then if we do that, let's not go that low. That's because it's there's so many key points that are a little bit lower, that are a little bit higher. So let's just do that. Let's go with this and break it from all the way down to there. Yeah, so there we go, 75, 74. We have to accept that as a possibility here. That's going to play out, right, in the next little while. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Oh my God. Oh my God. What the heck are we going to do if Bitcoin does that? It's not over, right? These corrections, right, are normal in Bitcoin, right? And this would be, let's see here, a correction of, let's just see what this correction would be if we did take this move, and we have to accept that that's a possibility. We're talking of a correction of 33%, 32%, 33%, which is honestly what Bitcoin does. We have to accept it. We have to accept it and live with it, right? This is what Bitcoin does during the bull market. It has 33%, 30% plus corrections, right? So that's it. So expect it, right? Don't cry about it. Don't whine about it. Just expect it. And that's it. So with that said, right, should I go with a short, right, here, if this is what we're expecting? We could do that. We could do that, right? But are we in a bull market or a bear market of Bitcoin? Some might say, well, this looks bearish, right? Yes, it looks bearish, but let's take a look at the overall structure of Bitcoin, right? We could say, right, looking at the overall structure, let's go to a 2-week so we can get some more data. You can see that overall Bitcoin is on an upward trajectory. You can see that we are creating a lot of higher lows and higher highs. There is no break of this low right here, 54, to say that, okay, dude, we're in a bear market, right? Unfortunately, that's a very low number for us to go, but that's what we're going to need to have in order to say, yeah, that's a bear. So, with that said, right, Bitcoin does its thing until it does a blow off top, right? Basically, it does its thing until it does a blow off top. And we haven't seen a blow off top. We haven't seen something crazy high, right? Where everybody's euphoric. We haven't seen like a 90% on a 95, 96% on the, what's it called? The fear and greed index. And we haven't seen a high greed factor in a long time. And so we're still ways from that. So with that said, we could say this is a possibility. There's no guarantees though. No guarantees. And with Bitcoin being in a bullish market, it's difficult to short it here. Difficult. Not impossible. We can short it, right? We can short it, right, for some excitement, right? And then reverse our trade at the bottom. But it's going to be a long haul, right? So with that said, I'm going to stick with going long because I really think, looking at if we looked at the what's it called? Let's look at some other technicals here. Bitcoin is rising against all other assets. And the sad thing is, if you don't have Bitcoin, this thing is going to crush everything. Crush. Because it looks like it's going to the 74%. And once it gets there, the crushing only begins. Just saying. Right? Just saying. So there it is. There it is, folks. Black and white. We have to understand that Bitcoin is the apex cryptocurrency, and it's going to be going a lot higher, even just looking at the dominance. And you could say, well, that means all the other cryptos are going lower. Yeah, and they are doing that. Looking at Ethereum, Jesus, man. We've come to one of the other support levels that I've had drawn here for a long time, and we're bouncing off of that. Further breakdown is clear. We're going to see Ethereum probably break down even further. You can see there's a lot more liquidity here. There's a liquidity hole at the $2,300 mark, so we could probably eat through this really fast. I think it was probably a little bit higher, probably 23.55 before we stop, and then we can actually eat down even further and go to, I know you guys can't see that, but let me just bring that up a little bit. But what happens is it disappears. And you can see, boom, we can go as low as the $2,100 level before we reverse. You can actually try to eat all this stuff here as well too. So yeah, it is what it is with Ethereum and all the other cryptos. And so if Bitcoin has to do this in order for us to see Ethereum at $22,000, right? So it's looking more and more likely that that's the case. So with that said, moving on to Solana. Oof, damn. Can this be an AB equals CD? It would be nice. That would be a reversal. But at the same time, I don't think so. We can see that we are struggling to bounce here. People are buying it as it tries to go lower, but the buyers are just too weak. And it looks like we are destined to go a lot lower. So with that said, where is the low point for this? Well, unfortunately, right, if we take a look at that, the low point could be as low as $73, right, from this double top. So that's where it could be going in the interim. So it's a sad situation. We can say the best case scenario was a little bit higher than that, but where we can see $100, around $100, but I don't think so. I think you can see around 100, 200, 120 is the best case scenario. But if we were to do 3 drives, right, which is probably what's going to play out here, if we at least rest here, Jesus, come on, rest, bounce, at least bounce here, right? Let's just say we do 3 drives. You can say, and it bounces a little bit, maybe back up to the support level. Yeah, there we go. But that's a guess, right? That we have to bounce, right? And then that would be the final stop for Solana. Whew, boy. Well, that's it for today. It is nightmarish day for crypto. And if we look at crypto bubbles, everything is just collapsing. Yeah, it is what it is. And so that's how it is. Thanks for watching. Peace.